is Kevin Onyona. I'm the founder and CEO of Swahili Village Bar and Restaurant brand. We are based in the United States. The states where we have actually activation and locations are Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Newark, New Jersey. We currently have those three, but we are in the process of opening three more. Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, and Houston, Texas. We are a fine dining Kenyan restaurant serving authentic Kenyan food. Our goal is to ultimately introduce the Kenyan cuisine to the United States of America as food diplomacy initiative. I went to the U.S. chasing for love. I went to visit this young lady who I was dating, and she had left a void when she left me to go to school, so I went to see her, and the rest is history. She's now the mother of my 4 children. I was just out of frustration, you know. I'd been in America for 10 years about this time, and you know, I'd done very well. I was already into the corporate America systems, and we started a family. Our first child was born, but the frustration was over time. You know, you have money to take your family out to dinner or to eat out, and we would go to, you know, restaurants like Cheesecake Factory, you know, fine dining spaces, but you don't like the food there. You're going because these places are clean and the ambiance is nice, and you're doing this because you want to go out in a place with a family that is safe, service is good, and a semblance of a nice, decent meal. But we never really enjoyed the food in those places. Now, if I wanted to go out and eat Kenyan food or African food, I would be required to go into hole in the walls, you know, very tiny spaces with bad service and even hygienically compromised spaces. And you know, I have a wife and I have a daughter, and the way that they consume the space of even the use of bathroom is different from us men, you know, so I was frustrated by that. Out of the frustration, I decided to leave corporate America and start off a space where I could stop complaining about me not finding a space, but me creating a space. So right there, I found a problem to a community of the Swahili-speaking people who, or the African community, who are struggling to find a good place to go and dine with their families and enjoying the food that they're familiar with. So instead of complaining, I decided to take that step to take the initiative to learn, and I did this by quitting my job, which was actually a very, very good job at the time. I trained myself to be a chef in my own kitchen. I hired a consultant to work with me, and I believed that this was a reality because when we finally launched, the response was very good. We took into account all the aspects of what was missing: good service, good food, clean ambiance, and African music, because we miss that. If you've lived in America as long as we've lived, even just listen to Sina Makosa is very nostalgic. The word Nyama Choma is ours because of Swahili, but all Africans eat nyama choma. So when they come, they enjoy that space. But guess what else is eaten by all Africans? Ugali. So the Egyptians have a name for it. West Africans, of course, you know, they call it fufu. Corn fufu is actually ugali. Ethiopians have it. And Kenyans, of course, call it ugali. Our food is except that we make it differently from in Kenya, the way we prepare it. They may also prepare it differently, but it is nyama choma, it is ugali, it is sukuma wiki, it is kachumbari. But we owned and packaged it on our own way. Oh, we have a whole host of Kenyan meals, what your mother would feed you. Dengu, chapati, pilau, mbuzi choma, mbuzi mchuzi, chicken curry, kuku curry. We have all hosts of fish, tilapia. We have beautiful tilapia fish, both in all three different ways you can make it. And the most popular one of that is the samaki wa nazi. So yes, it is an entire, you can see it's an entire menu. Now, what we added for our West African customers, who are actually a big percentage of our customer base, is we added jollof. But even then, we call it Swahili jollof. We also added plantains, which is all African anyway. But that's just about the only other thing that you'll find in our menu. Everything else is Kenyan. Taska, chai, but we serve it in a fine dining space. 17 nationalities and Kenyans, clearly one of the most represented. This restaurant are owned by, first of all, they're designed and built by a Kenyan. I own it, I'm a Kenyan, and my wife. Most of the food that we serve, there's quite a bit that is sourced from Kenya. All our spices and seasonings are from Kenya. Clearly, Taska is from Kenya. Majani chai, all those things that you need in your little kitchen, we serve it in our restaurant. We are growing exponentially, and so we've also been able to work with the Labor Department of the United States government to show our areas of need when it comes to employment, because a lot of our foods are called specialty foods, and the way we prepare it is also very unique. So we have convinced the Labor Department that it's time to be able to get specialty labor, especially from our culinary schools. So I'm talking to several universities, signing different MOUs to prepare a way and a pathway for those students to come do their internship program with us. We train them, and then we can absorb them if the opportunity comes through absorption. Everybody was created with a talent. God gave you that talent. Why? Because God knew at some point you need to earn a living, and you need to go to do something that will bring you the income you need to earn a living. So it gave you a talent. Find that talent to begin with. Once you find that talent and you believe this is what you enjoy doing, if you go to work and you feel like you are waking up to go to work, then there's a problem. You should be able to wake up going to have a good time, and you're generating income. Basically, I'm telling the young men or women, young people, business or commerce is about finding a problem and then finding a solution in a product that you bring to the marketplace. And why do I say that? Don't be afraid. If you believe that there is an opportunity for you and you've created a product and your gut tells you this is a product that you believe in, jump. And when you jump whole in. dive and swim with the sharks until you're able to float.